Right buttons, ladies and gentlemen, even you can become a professional sportscaster.
Anybody can do this. It's so easy, Zap. It's so easy. All right, let's get going. Game one, GGWP and Resin. Talk to me about the GGWP lineup here on Northern Waters.
All right, GGWP has Fuzzballs in the Daring, utility build, Destroy Avelius in the Ragnar, range build for him, Bullet...
Well, okay, he's got range skill, but reload mod, yeah.
Yeah. Bullet Justice in the Kots build gearing, Yoshi 44 in a Torpedo Spec Yu Yang with radar, Rest in White in a Manitar, Jeepus in Napoli with secondaries, Flying Doge NA and another Manitar. Behind them, Battleships, Mibuki, St. Vincent, the usual skills, and then the Giuseppe who's saying, well, I'll just sit and think about it before I start moving.
Yep.
In a sniper spec with, I like the DCP upgrade in slot 1.
I think that's a very underrated upgrade on a lot of different ships myself, Seth.
Totally.
All right, let's have a look at the Resin lineup here in red. We got Eagle Lance's Ragnar booking it over to A. He's also running range and reload in slot 6. $1.99 for Guac in his own Manitar. He's actually running range in slot 6 on a Manitar. How curious.
Well, that could signal where he thinks he's going to go.
Indeed. Frice's Harugamo also running a range in skills and reload in upgrade slot 6. Peyton's St. Vincent. A little bit of extra heal, a little bit of fire prevention, a little bit of brisk. Big Boy's gearing. Going a little bit of torpedo reload, but really leaning into the smoke along with brisk and RPF. Headed up here to B. Elgar. Yep. Elgar over here. He's got top grade gunner, concealment, and legendary mod. Keybombs Vermont. Running all of the American plotting room shenanigans along with spotter plane duration and some survivability skills. Triarchs Des Moines. Unique mod, top grade gunner. And Mad Dog's gearing. Basically built out the same as Big Boy's back in mid.
Yep. Another Kots build. I love, by the way, Big Boy. Look at the smoke he's laying right there. He's trying to make the enemy think that there's a Des Moines in that smoke, maybe a Minotaur in that smoke.
Maybe just baiting out some torpedoes.
It's already baited out Yoshi's Deep Waters plus the torpedo reload
and the reload. Yeah,
yeah. They're gonna get nothing out of those torps. I love it. Look at the smoke screen though. Look how much of that land or that water is just blocked.
It's interesting to see teams. For years, teams have used smoke to hide ships in. But as the game evolves and the meta of the game becomes more mature, we're starting to see teams use smoke more now for these kinds of plays where you're like baiting your opponent into thinking something is occurring that really isn't.
I love the mind games. A reminder that Marseille and Gdansk were banned in this particular game.
All right.
An early detected under Triarch's radar.
And an early radar at the A flank. Yep. Bullet Justice getting picked up from Eagle Lance.
Wow. Both Resin side radars early, catching GGWP a little bit off balance.
Catching a little bit of damage. Nothing catastrophic. Velius taking some hits. Bullet Justice taking some hits.
Yeah, it'll buff out for Velius.
Yeah. Velius can push his little heal button and go, nah, whatever.
Okay.
Frice's Harugamo smoke laying across the bottom of the A cap. Both teams running smoke across their respective sides of this cap, but not putting a ship in that smoke, just using it to deny long-range vision to the enemy team.
Well, and this is what we see happening a lot on this map is on the A side, there's a big smoke screen with a race to that middle island. And then over on the C side, there's a smoke screen typically on either side as well. But I really like the idea that neither team really cares to sit in or even behind the smoke screen. They're just kind of laying it for, I don't know, make it look cool on the map. And then we got kind of like an equal sign going.
Well, I think it's interesting, in random battles, most people opt to sit in smoke because invariably there's somebody out there. If you're playing behind smoke, there's probably somebody back here who'll have a plane up, or maybe there's a carrier in the game. Playing from behind smoke with a carrier in the game means the smoke is largely worthless. For years and years and years in King of the Sea, of course, planes were a thing. and you sat in smoke rather than behind smoke. Because again, the carrier could just bring planes over and spot you anyway. But without planes sitting just behind a smoke screen, simply using smoke screen to shield the vision of the enemy team while you move ships around the map is a very valid strategy. It is in randoms too without a carrier on the board, and a lot of players just don't really take advantage of it.
Right. And actually today Put and I caught a team that found a way to deal with that smoke with players sitting behind the smoke, and it was a thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Of all things, Khabarovsk. They shoved a Khabarovsk all the way up the line on the side, and I think that was SRT, I believe. And they went all the way up along the side, got behind the Kaba behind the smoke screen, and all of a sudden, like, woo, everybody spotted, and just ship started dying.
Yep.
It was crazy.
And right. And so that's a thing, like in King of the Sea, that's an excellent kind of counter tactic. It's just not one you see a lot of, right? Because it's difficult to achieve.
Right.
Well, for the moment, RESIN are the ones that own this island on the edge of the ACAP. This long duration radar from $1.99 for guac really paying dividends as they're able to just carve more and more and more and more of Bullet Justice's health away between the Harugamo and the St. Vincent, while Eagle Lance's Ragnar bags the cap.
Yeah, very interesting setup there. Love every minute of that.
Yep.
It's fun to watch.
Very well executed.
Notably, Frice also not taking that much damage. Just Flying Doge is just sitting there like, come on, shells, hit, damn it.
Well, Frice is playing little rudder games, backwards, forward, forward, backwards, and that's the kind of stuff that really makes it difficult. Ooh, some good torpedoes on Peyton.
Peyton did not find a rock to hide behind and took 2.
He did not. Good torpedoes there from Bullet Justice.
Mm-hmm. Kind of equalizes a little bit of what just happened.
More radar going up at mid. They tried to push fuzzballs off the cap with a radar from Elgar earlier. Weren't able to really land many shells. Now the radar comes up from Eagle Lance's Ragnar as the shells go in on Yoshi's Yu Yang.
Yeah, remember, Yoshi does not have a heal, and also his radar is down for another minute and a half.
Yeah, he was radaring as well, I think, trying to catch one of these destroyers. I'm not sure he came up with anything. If he did, they didn't get much out of it.
Now take a look at the Deep Waters and Kaga line all coming into this smoke screen south of B-Cap.
Elgar going to struggle here. Going to find a way to dodge them both, though.
Brown alert for Elgar. Hydro down everything. He just lazily hits forward.
Well, the next wave of Deep Waters is already on the way. He has no way to see them. The gearing's not there to screen for them, as Fuzzballs does manage to flip the B-Cap. And so the 50-ish point lead that that RESIN has built will start to shrink. More radar going up for Fuzzballs.
Take a look at on the one line. The torpedoes coming up right now from the Harugumo Frice. Just barely missed Bullet Justice. And Mabuki as well. Oof.
Elgar does take 1 deep water from that second wave as Big Boy's gearing back onto B. They can see the gearing. Oh, they can see him because they're all spotted by the Minotaur Hydro. So Frice just lazily murdering the gearing here, who's going to go down. Bullet Justice caught in the Hydro there, as Mabuki's St. Vincent will be next on the menu.
That's a huge kill.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That means RESIN gets first blood. It took 9 minutes and change.
That is a big one indeed. It's a 150-point lead and growing now for RESIN as they flip the B-Cap back in their favor.
Ooh, nice hit there on Mabuki from, I think that's the Vermont even.
Vermont's got his plane up. We're looking in that general direction. Wouldn't shock me.
Yep. Price is just sitting here like, all right, you want to turn this way? Cool.
Frice playing a very dangerous game now. The Minotaur moves out. Spotted on the surface by Yoshi. I have to wonder if he's going to radar here. Minotaur shells start coming in for $1.99.
Yeah, it's interesting he's choosing not to radar. I wonder if he's proxy spotted.
It might be, actually. So it might not matter.
He's not proxy spotted. Okay. He's past 2.
Hydro's up. He can see the deep waters coming in, so he's going to retreat back behind the island.
Yeah, and now they'll proxy spot each other anyway.
Yep. Well,
Unless 99 is able to stop in
no,
time. Nope.
spotting will work great. There goes the radar. A little bit of odd timing there, but it works. They can still see the St. Vincent. More Vermont shells came in a minute ago. Didn't come up with anything. The Ragnar in mid now getting into Mabuki's pain.
I almost feel like they were trying to bait out the deep waters on purpose so that Peyton could move up.
Possible. Another fire on Mabuki. He gets to a crazy heal.
Could be a galaxy brain kind of play. I wouldn't be surprised if RESIN does that kind of thing.
Mabuki healing, working on 2 fires now. More shells starting to come in. Eagle Lance swapping to AP now. As Freiss pretty much has the fire game locked up. There comes the bow fire.
Yep.
Mabuki knows it's over now. His heal is done, and there he goes.
The enemy is about to win.
All right, 2 kills for RESIN.
Torpedoes coming in on Eagle Lance, but he's got some forward momentum. He'll be able to dodge those.
So, Raptor, how can GGWP get back into this game?
They got to make a play for B, Zath, in my mind. A is lost.
Well,
you have no tools to get back into that cap. It's over. But you maybe have the possibility to make a play for B. The St. Vincent,
Giuseppe's doing just that.
Yeah, the St. Vincent has chosen to move up into A, so you have a window for the moment. He's sort of stopped right here. He'd have to reverse to get his guns into mid. So for the moment, Peyton is useless. He has nothing to shoot at, and no targets and no lines we're shooting at. So you've got to get onto B. But the other thing, but more importantly, you've got to bag a kill, and that's where the challenge comes, because I just don't know where they're going to do it. Most of these RESIN ships are very healthy. They've traded very, very smartly, and I just don't know how they're going to pull it off.
Yep, I don't know either. As Elgar, we got dual radars going up here.
All the radar.
Venn diagrams drawn, circles drawn on the water all over the map. I think Velas might be the one in most trouble, but we'll see. Ooh, Giuseppe got slapped.
Yeah, Giuseppe taking a solid hit from the Vermont there as he was trying to put shells on Big Boy, which he got some shells there, but not as big a hit as he needed. Now Giuseppe getting into a secondary fight with the Des Moines. Remember, Giuseppe, as I recall, not running a secondary build on this Ohio. Nope.
No.
Always running some range, but nothing else. Big Ohio shell salvo going in. Big hit.
Artillery plotting room does an impact on secondary range. It's a small one, not as much as the secondary module.
It's like 5% or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That Vermont salvo not nearly as effective on Giuseppe as they do flip the B cap. But if you're RESIN now, I think you can start to rotate some units, and you see Peyton making the realignment. He's reversed. He's trying to get his rudder over to starboard to make this turn to get his guns pointed back into mid. Giuseppe,
he's
unfortunately,
lost a lot of time with that decision to go to A there.
Yeah, Giuseppe, unfortunately, caught out trying to reverse into the smoke, and he's not going to live to make it.
Nope. Nice job, Elgar, surviving that.
Feels like maybe they should have brought him in and then hung him out behind the island, but they are going to lose Elgar as well. Feels like only a matter of time before enough of these shells connect, and there it is.
He did his job.
He did exactly what they needed him to do.
It's like Cisco and AR-558. We hold.
And so now, a beautiful line of RESIN ships running across the map, playing defense, trying to pick up kills where they can, knowing they only have to hold on for 2 minutes before they can pick up a win.
Yep, big hits there on RESIN White's Minotaur at the very southern part of the map.
Oh, yeah.
Triarch in his Des Moines, catching a glimpse on him thanks to Mad Dog getting out. Look, Mad Dog's even opening up. He's like, yeah, let's try for this. Let's go for it.
Yep.
The enemy is about to win.
Velas goes down. Peyton gets him.
Big kill from Peyton. As now Freiss and $1.99 looked like they might want to wrap the top of the cap, but either way, they're sitting at the other end of this island from Flying Doge and Yoshi, basically saying, okay, you want to come into the cap, we're here for you. You want to leave the cap, we're here for that too.
RESIN White's about to take a torp, and that'll do it.
That's
Ding,
the game.
Fries are done.
Well played to both teams, but it's RESIN that comes out with the win here in game 1.
Absolutely, and death pick with smoke. Good times.
Button.
Button. Who's got the button?
Bam. Bam. There we go. Awesome.
Bam.
Bam!